evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the special town meeting of December 20th, 2017. I'm Eugene Cushman. I'm the town meeting moderator. Mr. Daigle, if you could stand and lead us in the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Madam Town Clerk. And I'd like to congratulate our new town clerk.
Thank you. Good. Notice of special town meeting. Notice is hereby given of a special town meeting of the town of East Lyme to be held on Wednesday, December 20th, 2017 at 7 p.m. at the East Lyme Town Hall Upper Meeting Room for the following purposes. 1. To approve a special appropriation in the amount of $388,080.60 for the purpose of acquiring by way of lease or purchase various vehicles and equipment more particularly described in the town's fiscal year 2017-2018 equipment acquisition plan, as evidenced by one or more agreements for the acquisition of said vehicles by lease or purchase or a combination thereof, for a total price of $369,400 plus interest at the rate of 1.98% per annum, payable in annual installments of $77,616.12, $6,468.01 a month over a period of 5 years. 2. To approve a special appropriation to the Board of Education in the amount of $504,058.80 for the purpose of acquiring, by way of lease or purchase, or a combination thereof, various new computer and smartboard equipment for the high school, middle school, Niantic Center School, Lily B. Haynes, Flanders School, and the central office, more particularly described in the East Lyme Public Schools proposed Year 1 Computer Replacement Plan 2017-18, and for partial funding of the East Lyme High School pool dehumidification system for the total amount of $480,735 plus interest at the rate of 1.98% per annum, payable in annual installments of $100,811.76, $8,400.98 a month over a period of 5 years. 3. To approve a special appropriation and transfer in the amount of $35,000 from CNRE Fund 32, account 32-70-300-500-100, Town Project Allocations, and establish an account titled Cheney Park Restrooms for partial funding for the purchase of a portable restroom trailer for Cheney Park. This purchase is consistent with the capital improvement plan. 4. To transact any other business proper to come before the meeting. And this was signed by the Board of Selectmen, posted on the signpost, advertised in the day paper, and recorded in the town clerk's office.
Thank you, Madam Town Clerk. As usual, I'll quickly go over the ground rules. Under Connecticut General Statute 7-6, you must be an elector of the town or 18 years of age, a U.S. citizen, and own taxable property on the grand list of 10-117 of $1,000 or more in order to vote. Under Connecticut General Statute 9-360, any person who votes but is not eligible to vote may be subject to the following fines. A fine of not less than $300, no more than $500, and prison not less than 1 year, no more than 2 years, disenfranchised, or all of the above. If anyone wishes to speak at the meeting, I'd ask that you come to the podium and give your name and address for the record. If you're not eligible to vote, please make that known before you address the meeting. Please do not conduct a dialogue amongst yourself, but address all questions or comments through the moderator. Motions may be made to approve an expenditure, disapprove an expenditure, or reduce an expenditure, but it may not be made to increase an expenditure. I appoint the registrars as tellers and checkers if they're needed. And we'll take up the items on the call in their order. And the first item on the agenda we'll take up is to approve a special appropriation in the amount of $388,080.60 for the purpose of acquiring, by way of lease or purchase, various vehicles and equipment more particularly described in town year fiscal year 2017-2018 equipment acquisition plan as evidenced by one or more agreements for the acquisition of said vehicles by lease or purchase or combination thereof for a total price of $369,400 plus interest at the rate of 1.98% per annum, payable in installments of $77,616.12 or $6,468.01 per month over a period of 5 years. Do I hear a resolution?
So moved.
Mr. Siri, is there a second?
Second.
Didn't see it. Mr. Solano? It's been moved and seconded. Would anyone like to discuss tonight? Mr. First Selectman.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I'm Mark Nickerson, First Selectman of East Lyme. These items represent a need in our town to replace certain items. We have a very, very organized way of maintaining our vehicles, but also replacing them in a rotation way so that some of the older vehicles are then used by other departments where they wouldn't be used as aggressively. In other words, our police cars end up coming down to some of our building officials, and some of these vehicles, like the pickup truck, will then move to the transfer station, the one they're using now, and the one at the transfer station, which is really not worth repairing at this point. It's the parts on it are worth more than the vehicle itself, will then be sold off at auction for scrap at this point. So the purchases are a middle-sized dump truck. The one we have will be sold. We probably could squeeze 9 or 12 months out of the one we have and go for this next year. However, we do need one of those garbage vehicles, which cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, and we'll need to buy that next year. So rather than having a massive expenditure next year, we're going to spread this out. I can't spread that auto loader out any further. So we're getting the dump truck. The flail mower should have been purchased a couple of years ago. That's the mower on a hydraulic arm that goes along with along a tractor along our roads, cuts the side brush on the roadways, and keeps our roadways safe by line of sight, especially at intersections. That is used all season long. The pickup truck is for Parks and Rec that I mentioned. 2 Scott Air Packs go to the Fire Marshal's office. They are equipment that does expire. This is safety equipment, and we have 2 we have 2 at the Fire Marshal's office, and they're both expiring. All of this was in our capital improvement plan at the beginning of the year, approved at the town meeting. And lastly, the portable restrooms. The newspaper did a fabulous job of describing what we're doing here. And very quickly, a portable bathroom, a portable trailer is $70,000. It's a custom job. We would get it to be an industrial type thing. We wouldn't be buying it off the shelf. It would be built for our specifications. It's going to be used at a beach scene. It's going to be a lot of work and a lot of sand. So it will be more industrial in nature. Some of these are very glamorous in nature. They come with paneled wood and marble countertops. That's not what we're buying. The steep grant that we did receive from the state to build these bathrooms, and the piping and the cutting into the state road and the hooking up into our sewer and water system, that money cannot be used for a portable restroom. We can't put a permanent restroom down at Cheney Park because of the new flood FEMA regulations. So this is the best alternative. We're excited to finally get it done. When Cheney Park was envisioned, when that bridge was finalized and that land was given to the town and that was put together, this was part of the plan. This bathroom will also support what we hope will be dinghy docks at some point down at the Cheney Park, which is part of the plan. It's been so all along, and to create that marine transit industry to have people come to Niantic and moor their boats, take dinghies into a dinghy dock, and then visit our downtown has all been part of the plan, and the restrooms are a necessary part of that. So I have department heads here that can answer specific questions if there are any. Otherwise, I'm enthused that there's so many citizens here tonight, and I would appreciate your support.
Thank you, Mr. First Selectman. Would anyone else like to be heard? Yes, sir, in the back. Mr. Dravick?
John Dravick, 18 Dravick Road. It's a lot of money.
I'd like to see this expenditure reduced to less than half. Times have changed. We talk about this big plan that's been going on for 20 years. Just look at the big plan in Hartford and the way this town is taking a hit already. No, absolutely not. When is this town going to learn how to say no? You got more people, more equipment than we've ever had before. Now, I understand the town had a payloader up at the landfill. I'm not sure where. Nobody wants to talk about it. I understand it had a major breakdown where the machine actually broke in half, had to be hauled away and repaired. Rumor has it cost over $75,000 for that repair. I want to know where that money came from. We're spending money like it's not ours, and things have changed a lot. You talk about this big plan. Look at what happened in Hartford in the past 3 years, and just look at the past couple of months. They do a budget, and a month later, it's already $250 million in the red. It's going to come down and hit everybody in town, not town government, the taxpayers. Town government seems like it takes care of itself as long as it has your tax dollars. Enough already. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dravick. Would anyone else like to be heard? Seeing no hands, we'll move the question. All in favor of approving a special appropriation in the amount of $388,080.60 for the purpose of acquiring by way of lease or purchase various vehicles and equipment more particularly described in the town's fiscal year 2017-2018 equipment acquisition plan as evidenced by one or more agreements for the acquisition of said vehicles by lease or purchase or combination thereof for a total of $369,400 plus interest at the rate of 1.98% per annum, payable in installments of $77,616.12 or $6,468.01 per month over a period of 5 years. Please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by saying nay?
Nay.
The ayes have it. The resolution carries. The next item on the agenda is to approve a special appropriation to the Board of Education in the amount of $504,058.80 for the purpose of acquiring by way of lease or purchase or a combination thereof various new computers and smart board equipment for the high school, middle school, Niantic Center School, Lily B. Haynes, Landis School, and the central office. More particularly described in East Lyme Public Schools Proposal Year 1 Computer Replacement Plan 2017-2018, and for partial funding of the East Lyme High School pool dehumidification system for the total of $480,735 plus interest at the rate of 1.98% per annum, payable in annual installments of $100,811.76 or $8,400.98 per month over a period of 5 years. Does anyone wish to make a resolution in that regard? I can't see that back. Is that Mr. O'Connor? Mr. O'Connor, is there a second?
Second it.
Dr. Hagan. Anyone like to be heard on this?
Sure.
Mr. Newton?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Jeff Newton, Superintendent, also resident, 53 Albert Crossing. We have 2 items that are on the docket. First being our technology acquisition plan, our ongoing replacement and recycling of computers, as well as the electronic boards that are used in our classrooms and throughout our schools. We have a growing continued use of technology across all of our schools as becomes a staple with all of our curriculum instruction and assessment practices. So we're requesting that continued acquisition with our computer systems. Second item is the pool dehumidification system. The current pool facility is 19 years old. It has held up very well over a number of years, but it has had an air exchange system in it. So it just moves air throughout the building. There is the toll that's taking on the roof. We want to extend this roof's life and not be coming back to the town for a new roof anytime soon. A dehumidification system will do 3 things. First, it will dry out that whole area, which we are in need of, so the rafters are no longer wet and causing deterioration of any of the beams that are up there. Second, it will control air temperature, so we can regulate that, saving on electricity. And third, a better circulation across the pool area. The chloramines that come up out of the water, sometimes with the current air system, they sit at the pool level, causing some congestion, some coughing, that we've seen, this air system will pull those chloramines up and away from our patrons and our community members. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Newton. Would anyone else like to be heard? Mr. Dravitt?
Me again. How many people a year use that pool? Good. How about we look into self-funding it? Pay to play.
Let's keep the
Hey,
comments down,
hey,
please.
I'm
Mr.
speaking,
Dravitt has the
please.
floor. Mr. Dravitt, I'll take care of it. You have the floor.
Thank you. Enough people use it, everybody enjoys it. It's like everything else. We can't keep hitting the taxpayer up. Just because you can load a room doesn't make it right. Now, as far as these computers and stuff for the school, I was very much in favor. That's one of the few things I voted for about 5-10 years ago when we started doing these computer replacement programs. A lot has changed, particularly our income. We've got less people supporting all this stuff. We got to come up with a better plan rather than just keep running back to the taxpayer because you can load a room with people who can keep voting yes. It's unfair. Thank you. And I'll address the next thing as it comes along. And I still want to know how much the town paid for that payloader to get it repaired and where that money came from. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dravitt. But I will comment, the town meeting is never unfair, Mr. Dravitt. Would anyone else like to be heard? Mr. Hagan. Excuse me, Mr. Newton.
Just one additional, two additional items. One additional item on the pool. There's been revenue that's been collected over the 19 years that the pool has been in existence. And the pool is giving, the facility is giving $100,000 to help offset the cost of that humidification system. So I think when it was installed, the facility was installed, they said they were going to generate money. They did that, and we've been able to give $100,000 to that. Just second piece on the technology component, we're saving money on trying to lessen the number of textbooks and hardcover books and materials by moving towards online software systems. So I just want to make that point as well.
Thank you, Mr. Newton. Would anyone else like to be heard? Yes, sir.
Hi, Brett Hammond, 441 Boston Post Road. As far as the pool goes, my family all goes to the pool, and it's served our town and community very well. And what's happening now is we're preventing further costs by getting the air quality under control, because right now what happens, there's no humidification system. Therefore, the water goes up into the rafters, creates this rust problem up in the rafters. Therefore, the roof will eventually be so have to be repaired. So this is looking ahead to try to minimize the costs by putting in this system, and also is involved with the health and quality of the students and all the participants of the pool. So I think it has multiple purposes, and it's a great system that's been used, and it's the only system that's available that will take the humidity out of the water in a pool setting. I mean, not out of the water, humidity out of the air within a pool setting. So it's been researched, and it's a great system. So I think it's necessary for the town.
Thank you, Mr. Hammond. Would anyone else like to be heard? Okay, Mr. Dravitt, you can be heard.
I'm not one to usually say, I told you so. But if you all remember, when we voted that pool in, Mr. Rando standing up saying, if we're going to do it, we better do it right. You need an air handling system in there. And all these smart people who researched it all said, no, we don't need it. And you put it in. Within a year, we were suing the company who put the roof in, who had already gone out of business. It's not the first rodeo. You couldn't do it right the first time. Now you're back looking for the taxpayer to bail your asses out again. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dravitt. Would anyone else like to be heard? Seeing no hands, we'll move the question. All in favor of approving a special appropriation to the Board of Education in the amount of $504,000, $58.80 for the purpose of acquiring by way of lease or purchase or a combination thereof various new computer and smart board equipment for the high school, middle school, Niantic Center School, Lily B. Haynes School, Flanders School, and the central office, more particularly described in East Lyme Public School Proposal Year 1 Computer Replacement Plan 2017-2018, and for partial funding of the East Lyme High School pool dehumidification system for the total amount of $480,735 plus interest at the rate of 1.98%, payable in the annual installment of $100,811.76 at $8,400.98 per month over a period of 5 years. Please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed by saying nay. Nay. The ayes have it, the resolution carries. The next item on the agenda is to approve a special appropriation and transfer in the amount of $35,000 from CNRE Fund 32, account 32-70-300-500-100, town project allocations, and establish an account titled Cheney Park Restrooms for partial funding of the purchase of a portable restroom trailer for Cheney Park. This purchase is consistent with the capital improvement plan. Do I hear a resolution?
So moved.
Mr. Siri, is there a second?
Second.
Ms. Cheney, excuse me, Ms. Cheeseman. Would anyone like to discuss this matter? Mr. First Selectman.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Again, Mark Nickerson, First Selectman of the town, also a resident. This is the second half of the trailer. We've already approved the first half by going, we're going to have a 5-year loan on that $35,000. It's going to be part of our vehicle acquisition. The second half is coming out of our town projects bank account. We have what's called the CNRE, which is a capital non-recurring, which means it's kind of like a savings account for things that come up. We save money for HVAC systems, heating and air conditioning systems in our towns. We save money for sidewalk repairs. We save money for town projects. This is indeed an important town project, so we're taking $35,000 from an account that has $87,000 in it, but we don't want to deplete that. That's why we didn't take all $70,000 out of there, because other town projects come about. This was, again, part of the capital improvement program at the beginning of the year, and taking $35,000 from this town project CNRE, we felt was a prudent way of going about financing this. We look forward to having restrooms down at Cheney Park that actually have water flow back and forth and not porta potties, which costs this town a significant amount of money in order to provide that. At $7,500 a year we spend in porta potties, that we'll be able to save that and apply that toward these restrooms. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. First Selectman. Yes, sir.
Paul Spakowski, 37 Mill Road. Year after year, I watch the Public Works money being transferred all the time for frivolous things. And in this here case, I find this to be frivolous compared to projects that have been on the board for 20 years. The Mill Road, I'm talking mainly about Mill Road, that's been red zone for 20 years. This project has been there, ready to go, and the road just gets worse and worse every year. And every year I see money transferred from Public Works for things, for state-of-the-art toilets. This really gets me when I go on the road, and the road needs serious repairs. And how this town could go ahead and vote for some state-of-the-art toilets down the Cheney Park and not stick with doing some public work projects that really need done year after year that are not getting done, I don't understand it. And I wish somebody would explain to me how this can happen like this. Thanks.
Thanks, sir. Would anyone else like to be heard? Mr. Dravitt.
Yeah, Mr. Spakowski brings up a good point. I guess if we can get the Nanick Rotary and East Lyme Public Trust to say we got to fix our roads, you'd be having them people load the meeting up to fix the roads. But instead, you're hitting the taxpayer up for a super toilet. You got to be kidding me. You wanted a beach, you got a beach. You wanted a boardwalk, you got a boardwalk. Now I got to put a toilet in. Nobody ever said, what's this going to do for the town? The answer is nothing. Nobody spends any money down there. There's no revenue coming in from the beaches. It's a joke. And don't tell me people come to the town and spend a lot of money because it hasn't happened yet. How long has that boardwalk been open? This is a disgrace. You got more important things in this town we should be worried about. Quite frankly, I won't tell you where I think the Board of Selectmen heads are. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dravitt. Would anyone else like to be heard? Seeing no hands, we'll move to the question. All those in favor of approving a special appropriation and transfer in the amount of $35,000 from CNRE Fund 32, account 32-70-300-500-100, town project allocations, and establish an account titled Cheney Park Restrooms for partial funding of the purchase of a portable restroom trailer for Cheney Park. This purchase is consistent with capital improvement plan. Please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by saying nay.
Nay.
The ayes have it, the resolution carries. There being no other items on the agenda, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Siri and Mr. Salerno. All those in favor of adjourning, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed by saying nay. The meeting is adjourned.